All right. So I'm gonna hit
All right, I'm hitting mute, man.
Thing.
It's your show.
Yeah. I'm hitting record on this thing, and let's move forward. We may or may not have a band tonight. We'll see. We're playing it by ear. And if we don't have a band, I promise I'll give you guys your money back.
My friend Robert, I think, is on this video, this Zoom broadcast.
Let's see.
That's on him.
Just so you guys know, you are, if you're not,
Nope. That's my cord, yeah.
You are coming through loud and clear. Oh, I see Magical Geeky Goodies there. Hi, guys. And I'm just going through and hitting a few mutes. We don't have any extraneous noises there. And all right, so
you should really clean these.
This has been an interesting start to our Aloha Friday
Open
lunch.
them and empty them into a bowl. Is that okay?
As I said, very interesting start this week.
Trying to stay safe.
Let me do this. All right, there we go. Now we have everybody muted.
Microphone is unmuted.
I thought. There we go. All right. So I think we got everybody muted right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing started. Hi, everyone. This is probably, like I said, the craziest start to an Aloha Friday we've had in the, I think 10 of these we've done, 9 or 10 of them. Any rate, hey, welcome. We're here at the weekend, and we're almost to the point where we're getting back out there to these tiki bars. So this is a very good thing. I am going to pick up Josh Duncan tonight. We've got a number of people that are joining us tonight. Josh Duncan from the Adrift Tiki Bar in Denver, Colorado. If you haven't been there, it's a pretty cool place. I was there a few years ago, a few times, so I'm sure it's changed since then, but I do know that it's a pretty darn good bar. We've got possibly the Hot Rod Trio, depends on how our technical difficulties get resolved. And then we have Claudette should I say Barjot? Should I be French? Okay, Barjot. Terry, I know you'll be very surprised with that. Maybe that hurt your guys' ears, if those French speakers, but Claudette, otherwise known as Miss Fluff, we'll be talking with her. And then in the Makani Marketplace, Jungle Cruise, Magical Geeky Goodies, Cheryl Schroeder of Shroederville Art, and Robert Jimenez of the Art of Robert Jimenez. So we have a number of people in here today that we're going to be chatting with. And first, as always, let's switch over. Let's make Josh the spotlight. How you doing, Josh?
Fantastic. How are you guys? Can you hear me pretty well?
Yep, we hear you.
Okay, cool.
You're not coming through muffled at all, so we're good on your end.
Beautiful. I'm using a brand new setup that I borrowed from a friend, so I'm like hoping everything works out right. But yeah, welcome everybody. Thanks for having me onto this. You know, like he said, I work at Adrift Tiki Bar. I've been the bar manager and general manager there for about 2 years now. You know, we unfortunately had to shut down just like everybody, and we're hoping that things start to clear up pretty quickly here so that we can get back to normal service. Most of you guys are out of Pacific, right? Like California.
We've got folks kind of from everywhere. We've had people from as far away as Canada, and also as far away as France. We had some people on from France and Europe. So
New York and Jersey.
And I guess it's different for everybody. Okay, cool.
So yeah, we've got people from everywhere. Now, so your bar, I don't know if it was because of when I visited the bar, but you know, the thing is about tiki bars, it's about the escapism and getting away to a tropical, cool place. I visited your bar, I want to say it was December 6th of my first time I visited.
Okay.
And temperature was about 5 below zero.
Yeah.
And it was snowing. Never did the effects of a tiki bar take hold so strongly.
Oh, it really helps to be, you know, up in the mountains, and then you walk in and you're like, you forget for a minute, and you walk back outside and you're like, holy shit, it's still cold.
Exactly.
Did you, just out of curiosity, when you came, did we have the snowdrift thing going on or no?
The snow at the bar?
Yeah, that was a thing we started doing not last
Yeah.
year, but the year before. So I'm not sure if you came before then or.
No, no.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
that was before I worked there as well. But no, we started doing this thing for Christmas where we would just completely blow out the whole place with Christmas decorations. A lot of other tiki bars are doing similar things, I think.
oh, nice.
And so when you would walk in, it was like as absurdly decorated as you would expect from tiki, but with Christmas decorations in addition to it. So it was really fun.
Sweet.
And we've been this year. We were moving into keeping that trend going. So we did something for the snow season. Afterwards, we had like ski gear and everything and all the tikis, and we kept a winter theme menu. And then for spring, unfortunately, I just finished our spring decor the day before we had to close. So nobody has seen it, but that place is decorated with all sorts of flowers and vines and all sorts of things right now. It's a really bummer that we're not able to share it with anyone right now.
Oh, man. Yeah, that is a bummer. Now,
Yeah.
I have to ask, are you guys, I think you guys can claim being the top tiki bar in the world, because is there a tiki bar at a higher elevation than you guys?
Well, I mean, I love that description. I've never thought of it that way, but I'll take it.
I figure you're mile high, so, is
Right,
there a
right.
tiki bar above you guys? I don't think there is.
Not that I know of. That's hilarious.
And you get that marketing for free. Just
Right. Thank you. I'll make sure that we implement that when we reopen.
All right. Well, you're doing a jungle bird for us
We're going to do
today.
Jungle Bird today. Just out of curiosity, did everyone get the PDF? Or if not, that's fine. We also have the instructions are in the chat there.
Yeah,
but-
we posted the instructions that you provided. And let me say, you provided some pretty detailed instructions there. I like all the other commentary that you provided in terms of alternatives.
So, I won't talk about it too much, but one of the things I started doing after, we had to close down is I had all this extra time, and I started thinking, what can I do? So I'm trying to launch a website that will be geared towards teaching people how to make cocktails at home, but like very thoroughly, like as the kind of education you would want to get from bartending in order to bartend anywhere. So that this is in a way, kind of a practice and first class for me. I haven't done any classes through it yet, but the website will become called Pour Savvy, and the template that I provided you guys is the same template that I'll be using for every class when we do for cocktails.
Well, just so you know, you lost me as soon as you said we were first class, so I appreciate that. I'm going to use that in all my publicity and marketing.
What's that?
I said, when you said we were first class, I heard, that's what I heard.
Yeah,
you
you're
may
like,
have said a little differently, but I'm
You
sure
know,
that's
you
what I heard.
definitely. You got it spot on.
Awesome.
Cool. Let me see if this second camera works here so I can pull out some of these bottles. Cool. You guys can all
wow.
see this. See my hand here?
Whoa!
Cool.
Okay, sure, go ahead and show me up. That's fine.
So.
Oh, look, technical difficulties. We no longer
right.
have Josh available.
Calls over.
Wow, man, that's
All right.
awesome.
So the rum that I'm going to use today is Vizcaya Black Rum. This one, I've had a little bit of a harder time finding it in stores, but this is a fantastic rum specifically for this cocktail. It's a black rum that gives you all the rich dark notes that you'd want from a black rum, but it's not super molassesy. If anyone's familiar with like Crucian Blackstrap rum, that rum just takes over, kind of like Eggo waffles, and which can be a good thing, but in this case, you don't want that. Otherwise, I just love this one for this recipe. It's not super sweet, and it doesn't take over the cocktail.
So I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
I do not have that rum.
Okay.
Some of the others that you mentioned, I don't have either. You'd say
Sure.
Plantation Original Dark, Diplomatico Montuano,
Yep.
Diplomatico Reserva Exclusiva, Plantation Zaimaca. I looked at my collection. I have Gosling's Black Bermuda rum.
Sure.
I have Skipper Dark Rum. It says it's a Demerara though.
Okay.
And then I have, my favorite one, Plantation OFTD. It's dark,
great.
but it's not Plantation dark.
OFTD is great. I've never heard of Skipper. Would you say Skipper is more dry or like really sweet? How would you describe that one in comparison to?
You can see that.
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
And actually, let me do this because I've got you on that spotlight video. I'm going to switch and get your
Oh,
overhead your cool overhead camera into the spotlight here.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Well, is it? It looks like it may be.
Is it working?
Yeah, I've got your, yeah, I think because you're sharing that screen, I think that's why it took over. So, okay, yeah, we're good there.
We're good?
Everybody
Okay,
should
cool.
have that. Yep. All right. So you
so
said
yeah, so-
OFTD does work?
So, well, OFTD is really boozy. So you're going to end up with, if you use that recipe, you're going to end up with a really boozy cocktail. You do a whole ounce and a half.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Depends. Depends on what you're in the mood for.
It's Friday.
If you were going to use OFTD, I would blend it half and half with one of the other rums that you have there. Maybe 3/4 of that and 3/4 of either the Skipper or the Goslings. I think Goslings will work fine.
All right.
I don't know what the Skipper is. For anybody else out there, what I recommend is just a rum that has some richness to it. So that usually it'll be an aged rum. White rums kind of usually are a little bit more forward and they don't have as much of that body. Nothing too sweet, but something that has richness and you can taste the oak in it. Some caramel flavors. That's kind of what you're looking for.
Oh, a question in the chat. Hamilton Jamaica pot still black.
Yeah, Hamilton. So actually, the original Jungle recipe uses Jamaican rum. This one that I gave you guys does not, but the Jamaican rum will be beautiful in there, and you get all the nice hogo funk out of it, and it's going to be a funky, beautiful cocktail.
And David is already imbibing. And the good news is he used Goslings, and he says it turned out great. So
Okay, cool. So Goslings will work just fine there. Cool.
And by the way, we have people from Kansas, OKC, not Kansas City. That'd be Oklahoma City, Massachusetts, Detroit. So yeah, we're everywhere, man.
I'm so excited. This is awesome. Cool. So there's the rum. We've got Campari here. I think most people know what Campari is. If you don't, though, it's a great little Italian bitter liqueur. This is a slightly what's the word? Not traditional style tiki cocktail, at least for classic tiki, just because it has this in it. This cocktail was made in the 70s, though, so it is a newer style cocktail, and it definitely shows. But again, it's one of my favorites. And then everybody hopefully has some pineapple juice. We got our pineapple juice here, and lime, and then some Demerara. White sugar works too. Any sweetener really will work, but I think Demerara works best in this recipe.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with a simple syrup on my end. So
yeah,
didn't have the Demerara.
Cool.
All right, just so you know, I follow along, and I'm gonna be slowing you way down.
No, you're good. You're good. Just out of curiosity, do you think anyone on here would want to refresh or rundown on jiggers, or are we pretty good on that, you think? You said you've done like 10 of these classes, but what's that?
Yeah, hey, I'm always up for more bar knowledge.
All right, so just a little thing, so I have two jiggers here that I like to use. One of them is Japanese, the other one's a bell jigger, or just a bell jigger, sorry. Leopold jigger is the other name for it. But both of them, one thing that I really like in my jiggers is, and I don't know, I have a bright light above it, but if you can see, I have the 4 lines in there. Some jiggers, especially the Japanese style ones, won't have that bottom line, which is your 1/4 ounce. But otherwise, you just add a 1/4 ounce for each one. So you've got a 1/4, half, 3/4, and 1 all the way to the top. And then on the other side, you have your 1.5 ounce and your 2 ounce all the way to the top. And then, like I was saying with my Japanese jigger, I do have that bottom 1/4 one. Pina Barware sells these, that has these if you like this style. But otherwise, I always like the bell jiggers just because they always have that 1/4 ounce pour in there. So we're going to go ahead and start with our Demerara here. And one thing, too, when you're making cocktails.
How much of that?
What's that?
How much of that one?
1/2 ounce, sorry. And it's hard to show on this camera, but when you're making cocktails, make sure that when you're doing your pours, that you're doing your pour all the way to that line, and make sure you're not going short of that line, because that line is exactly 1/2 ounce or whatever the measurement is that you're looking for. That's one of the biggest things that I see, even as when I'm training bartenders, I've been doing this for a long time, is I'll see them pour short or over a lot. It can make a big difference. I'm gonna go ahead and add a 1/2 ounce of lime juice here. And then we've got our pineapple. We'll do 1.5 ounces of that, which will be on the other side. And you'll notice there, I started with all of the cheapest ingredients, because if you make a mistake and you have to dump it, you don't have to worry about wasting your booze. And then we'll do 1/2 ounce of the Campari.
So now, how long have you been doing this tiki thing?
You know, it's kind of new to me. Ironically, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the rum here, 1.5 ounces of rum. So the funny thing about the whole tiki thing was, I've been bartending for I think 8 years now, quite a while. And I had run one other bar prior, and I'd worked in a lot of craft cocktail bars around Denver. And then when I ended up leaving the job I was at, and I got offered the job at the tiki bar, and I was like, I'd been into tiki for a while, and I thought it was really interesting. And as soon as I got the job offer at Adrift, I jumped at it and just started studying tiki, and I immediately fell in love with it. I mean, I think it's like one of the coolest styles of cocktails because it builds on everything you need to know for classic cocktails, but then you're bringing in all sorts of weird flavors and exotic syrups and fruits and spices. And you know, for me, when I would go out to bars prior to having worked at Adrift, I'd always have a tiki cocktail and be like, how the hell did you make this? Like, I didn't understand the flavors that were going on, but once you understand it, it's just a really cool style of cocktails. I've been doing it for 2 years since I started at Adrift, basically.
Okay.
I've been cocktail bartending for quite a while. Cool. So we should have everything ready to go. I'm going to throw some ice in here. Now let's go ahead and pick it up.
Oh, now you went with cubes, not with crushed.
What's that?
I said you went with cubed ice, not crushed.
I actually went with, well, yeah, so let me get to that in a second after I stop shaking.
All right.
Interesting thing about that. Most tiki bars have a crushed ice machine. When I started at Adrift, we did not have one. We still don't have one. And, you know, I had really been interested about that in people using the blenders with the crushed ice. And I've talked to a couple of bartenders about it. But the way that we built our cocktails at Adrift, because we don't have one, was to just kind of understand that we don't have the same dilution that's going on. So we kind of found a workaround and build our cocktails slightly differently, which is, it can go either way. I mean, I think it's good for the home bartender because a lot of these recipes work well on not crushed ice. I'm a big fan of pour and dump. You know, you go to a lot of cocktail bars. You'll see here, I'm just going to pour it right in. But a lot of cocktail bars will pour your cocktail over fresh ice, which limits dilution. But with tiki cocktails, I find that just pouring it just like this allows you to keep those like ice chunks and everything that'll keep it diluted as much as you want it to be. And if you don't have the availability to have crushed or pebble ice, you can kind of just use this as a workaround. And then, unfortunately, the grocery store I went to today did not have any pineapples. So I don't have to garnish for this guy, but for those of you who do, yours is just going to look better than mine. Let me go ahead and go back here. You guys still see me on like the normal screen now?
Yep, that we do.
All right.
Back
Oh,
up.
yeah?
There you go.
What's that?
You're
Okay.
the spotlight video, so just made you that again.
Yeah, so, and then here we have the Jungle Bird.
All right, nice.
Cheers, guys. Tell everyone, let me know how it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man.
This is actually one of my favorite tiki cocktails. It's just so simple and so good. What did you end up going with, Jeff?
I did the Goslings, and I have to agree with the what somebody else had said, that it came out pretty good. Yeah, so dude, you actually were able to help me make a good cocktail. So
Well, good. That's the goal. I hope that how that works. I'm just curious. Because I do want to launch this class. Like, I know we wait till later to talk about this, but I'm just curious to know, like, what are things that you think about this, and how do you think it could be better, improved? What do you think? What would you like to see from classes like this?
well, I'm going to open it up to the group here because I know you guys all have commentary about that. Oh yeah, Brenda, not a big Campari fan. I'm not either, but this drink it actually is pretty decent. It's not a really strong Campari.
It's really not. Only using a half ounce. I think the classic calls for 3/4, but only using a half ounce keeps it nice and keeps it at a good level where it's not overpowering. And something to know about me, and if you ever come to Adrift, is I believe very heavily in learning and knowing the classics, but I also believe in trusting your palate. So the way I do a lot of cocktails is that I'll take it and then I'll just kind of play with it until it's exactly how I want it, which sometimes I think is a really good thing.
So now Dorian is saying that she struggles with layering spices on her own and syrup flavors. So she wants to nerd out on that. So suggestions around that, certainly.
Cool.
Fun to learn how to make things work with what you have as well. I mean, that's kind of what we've been trying to do through the quarantine, the stay-at-home time.
Sure, right. That's part of why I lost or not lost. That's why I started this, is because I knew there's a lot of people at home who couldn't get cocktails, and it's like, well, why can't people just make them at home?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I appreciate it because for the most part you stuck pretty close. I mean, when you called out the Demerara. The Demerara syrup, that one was like, okay, that's a little out there, but at least you gave a good substitute, so that was good. We had one of our bartenders who was like, it was a very extensive drink, and I'm going, okay, we'll do this tonight, but I don't know if we can, if this will be something we're going to make at home on our own.
Sure. Well, and that's going to be one of the challenges of these classes is getting the ingredients in people's hands. So if you guys have time, please check out the website. I just launched the guides and recipes section today. And so those are only visible to members, but I'm keeping membership free for now, just until it makes sense not to. But either way, I'm going to post all of my recipes on there, and they'll be just like those recipe cards. So it'll have all the information of like what spirits do I recommend using, or substitutions that you can use. And then as I start to get my recipes done, I'll be posting links to the syrups as well. All of the cocktail cards are PDFs that have links in them. So if you have to make Demerara simple syrup and you don't know how to make it, currently it does not do this, but you'll be able to click Demerara simple and it'll take you to a cocktail or a recipe card that tells you how to make Demerara simple syrup, where to source it. And I'm also working with a couple, so Pina Barware, for example, the guys who make this, I'm gonna work with them to offer discounts to people who want to purchase bar tools through the website. And I'm just trying to figure out all the ways I can to make sure that people have the tools and the things they need at home so that they can do these things, because that's one of the bigger challenges, I think, to having your own home bar and learning to bartend, is just not having the ingredients or the knowledge of what to buy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I walked the store. We've got a store here called High Time Wine Cellars that, contrary to the name, it has this extensive stock of alcohol, of spirits. Sure. And I go in there and I look up and down the rum aisles and I get lost on stuff in there. So yeah, it's really cool. In fact, that's what somebody has said here. And he's learning more about rum to expand the palate and knowledge base.
Yeah, and we're gonna do, so part of, I've kind of segmented out the sections of the kind of classes I want to give to, just cocktail classes like this. Like, this is a very simple class where we're just like, these are the ingredients we're gonna use, we're gonna make a cocktail and that's it. But I wanna start breaking these down more. So like, if we do a Manhattan class, it'll be like, okay, here's a Manhattan, we're gonna build it, and then we're gonna talk about why it's not good. We're gonna talk about the things that could make it better, and then we're gonna improve it, and we're gonna talk about riffs on Manhattans that are better, and what changes we made, so that everyone can start to learn how to taste modified cocktails. And then I also want to do spirit classes. So we'll say, we'll just pick a spirit, and then we'll just taste a couple of them and together and say, okay, what are the things that you like about it? What would this go good in? These are the things that I think that help become a better bartender, is just understanding the ingredients, and not having to waste money on bad ones to find out that they're bad.
Yeah, exactly. And I can tell you, you've got somebody who's already piqued their interest. Mad Maybe has said that you really piqued the interest in this class. So, when you get that up and running, definitely let us know. That would be awesome.
Well, so I scheduled my first class will be next Friday. On the website, you can sign up for that class, and it'll be very similar format to this. We're just going to do an old fashioned for that class, very simple class, but we're going to focus on making old fashions from any ingredients. So if you have, if you want to do a classic whiskey old fashioned, you got some whiskey lying around, that's great. If you don't, we can do gin old fashions, we can do tequila old fashions, and we're going to talk about how to change up the bitters and those kinds of things. Then we're just going to do kind of an introduction to Force Heavy. I mean, you guys are kind of getting that right now, but we'll talk about what to see in the future. But that class will be next Friday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So same time actually as this.
Yeah. And I think actually it's something I'm going to bring up with the group today, but we'll probably be ending up moving ours just because everything seems to be opening back up again. And the whole goal of this show has been to bring Tiki together and get people out and help support some of the bars who had fund GoFundMe pages and other things for their support for their staff who were impacted, to help with the artists who obviously were impacted because now they can't go to marketplaces. So as things open up, we're probably going to be shifting our day here. So
you're gonna go later, you think, or what?
Probably looking at like a Tuesday rather than
different day of the week.
Yeah,
that would make sense actually. That makes sense.
Yeah, we're starting to have, the thing I like is we're starting to have problems getting bartenders on Friday nights. That tells me we're starting to open back up again. So
sure.
Yeah, so Tuesday I think is going to be a little bit easier, and that's what we're kind of talking about.
Okay, cool.
So let's see. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff there in the comments, but thank you very much for that. Do we have the link for your class?
So I'll go ahead and post that I'll post that in the chat here right after I get off with you guys. What I will say, the only thing I'll ever say that is, if you are interested, other than signing up for the class, there is a newsletter subscription thing at the bottom of the website. And if you sign up as a member, there is under the guide section, there's also a bar tool purchasing guide that I made. So if you have to get any tools for your bar, I included a bunch of recommendations of things that I like and where to get them from, with links as well to those websites. So thank you all for hanging out with me, and I'll back over to Jeff.
All right, so let's see. I am going to come back here. All right, so did we find our band? Oh, I see our band. I see you guys. And you're muted on your end. Let's see if we sound any better this go round. Those of you that weren't on prior to everything starting, we had one heck of a time with some sound issues. So hopefully we'll do this. You guys took the paper off? I'm still saying Terry was just making us look silly.
Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work anyway.
Okay.
Should we just go for a mutated version?
Yeah, let's see what we can do.
Or a mutated version.
A mutated, yeah. Well, the good news is we're all drinking, so maybe drink them really fast, and then it'll sound really good. Hot Rod Trio. If you guys have not heard of the Hot Rod Trio, they are a very fun bunch. And you can see them and just their heads right now at the bottom of the screen. So I'm gonna actually.
No, just up. You can see as our heads.
Where's that box that pushes?
Oh, it fell. We got all dressed up, so we want
all right, we're gonna do a quick adjustment here.
Yeah, so you might want to tilt just a little bit.
Where's the box? So I head back there, cute. I'm stone.
Well, it fell.
There you go. That works. Just put something right there behind it. I think we're.
No, that ain't working.
Ah.
Great. Oh, stand that to me. Sorry about this. We play vintage equipment, and we're very bad at anything that has to do with internet stuff. Our technology is very limited technology.
Well, you guys have a great sound. Are you lined up to be playing anywhere July or so once we're able to get back out?
All right, well, let's try this.
Okay.
Great.
Welcome to
the
the
light bulb. It's a 50s light bulb box that we're using to hold this.
Of course it is. This is going into a blooper reel somewhere.
Yes.
Today's episode has been a lot of technical glitches. Hey, we see you guys perfectly now.
Till the phone falls off the music stand. Right.
Now, hang on one second. What I'm going to do. Turn ahead.
There you go.
There we go. Love that song. Wish we could have heard it a little bit better, but that was I love that tune.
Cool.
Where are you guys? You guys have some dates lined up post-pandemic, post-lockdown?
Well, they've canceled just about everything on us. But we will take this time to promote our newest 45 on gold vinyl, available at thehotrodtrio.com.
Okay. Awesome. So hotrodtrio.com, we've got that. We're going to be putting that into the chat. Oh, it is in the chat already. See, Samantha is like so ahead of this thing. She's on the ball. What about on iTunes or other music services? Are you guys listed on those at all?
I believe so. Yeah. They said our technology is still on vinyl, so it's we're not exactly sure.
All right. Well, that's why I love the old school nature of it. I mean, you guys are playing old school instruments. You got the old school tunes going on. I love that. That's awesome.
Well, thank you.
So should we venture and try one more?
Sure. Here's one. It's off the A side of our new 45. It's called Need a Hot Rod.
So it was.
Thank you.
There you go. Awesome. That was what I could hear sounded really good. So I'm excited. I'm definitely going to go out to the site, hotrodtrio.com. I want to download that song to hear it. So that's really cool.
Appreciate that.
So you have a 45. I love the fact that it's a 45, not a single. So those of you too young to remember, this was actually what we kids used to play records on. Playing our records. It was a 45. What about an album?
Well, we do have several CDs out. Unfortunately, I believe most of them are sold out. But that's our current record, so that's what we're pushing.
Well, I was just thinking if you have a 45, usually that's a single off of an album. So that's why I thought maybe there's a new album coming along.
Yeah, we gotta get motivated and record an album. But that 45 is all done in a vintage studio at Deep Dickerson's studio, all on vintage microphones and tape and everything else.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We got a lot of good comments from you guys. People love your music, and yeah, we'll try and figure out that what the deal was with the sound issue. But at least we were able to get the vibe of the song, and they sounded pretty good from that.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you having us.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Let me go ahead and there we go. So now let's go on into our next guest, that being Claudette Barjod. And again, I hope that I'm not like mutilating the French language, Claudette and Thierry and anybody else who's a French speaker.
I couldn't go in there. I was already past the menu.
And right now we got, just to make sure, I think we got that mute going. So I see you, Claudette. Let's make you the spotlight video. Get me out of there. Nobody wants to see me. How are you?
Everybody, can you hear me okay?
Yep, we hear you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm glad you are here. Oh, you switched out your art there, I see.
I did.
Wow. So you are probably one of the first artists that I came across when I got into the tiki scene. And I love your stuff. It's just, to me, it's very unique, obviously very feminine. And maybe that's what makes it more unique than a lot of the stuff I see out there, but really love your stuff.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate that.
And so talk to us about your, how you got into this whole thing of tiki and your artistry.
Well, I've been drawing since forever, but of tiki, I was wanting to add a tiki to one of my paintings because I really love, Hawaii and tropical islands and the whole escapism and everything. Just always been into that, but I didn't know tiki was a thing. So I was just, looking for reference material online, and I came across a performance like the next Saturday coming up at Damon's, and I had heard of Damon's, never went, and I'm like, what? They're playing tiki music live, and what is this tiki? And it turned out to be a whole thing. So I went to it, and I couldn't believe they were playing all those amazing Martin Denny songs and their new originals too. But I was just amazed that there was this whole tiki community and all these people that were into it, and there was so much to all the drinks and the art and just everything, and the music and everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a whole world.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
I was just Googling some reference material.
Well, I'm glad you stumbled upon it because you're really providing some cool art. I definitely appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Now, the one you have behind you is one I saw online. Is this new that you have done?
Well, everything I'm showing you now is all new, never before seen. So this one, it's all in progress. So her hair's not going to stay blue. It's going to be dark. You can see, like, I'm going to make this more colorful. So that's one painting. And there's another one I'm working on. You can see it.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I love when you have you bring the tiki into it. For me, that helps, you know, masculinize it. If that's a word,
Yeah.
I'm going to make it a word.
I'm not that good at drawing the tikis yet, but I'm trying.
You're doing good.
And then this one, wait, maybe if I stand back.
Wow. Yep. Now these I have seen this one on your site. So is this something that you're working on painting, or when you say it's new, how is it new?
Oh, sorry. It started out as a digital piece on the computer, and then I liked it so much that I decided to paint it, in real life.
Gotcha. Oh, very nice. Yeah, because I have stickers coming. That's one of the stickers I got.
Yeah, I saw. Thank you.
So yeah, and it's already going to be having a spot on my Jeep, my Tiki Trekker Jeep. So yeah, we'll be out there. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we have somebody already trying to get ahead of me. Nice try there, Mad Maybe, but dude, I already bought before we came on to this episode. So there you go.
I have some more shapes. So I have some other things in the same series with girls with tikis. This is watercolor. I'm sorry, on watercolor paper. Then I'm doing some black and white ones that I'm going to enlarge into paintings. See that?
Oh, that is way cool. Now I have to ask, being a guy, and we have, a few guys on this call or on the WebEx today, or the Zoom, I guess, not WebEx. Are you doing anything on guys' t-shirts?
Oh yeah. I need to put some more.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, because everything on your website, I was like, oh, I want to get this on a shirt. Oh, it's all women's shirts. Okay, well.
I need to put more for guys, for sure.
Because you did something for Deadhead Rum.
Oh, yes, definitely. I love working with them.
Yeah, so you've got some of that on your site, too. That was really cool.
Oh, thank you. Yes, they let me put the 2 things that I made for them on shirts. I should put it for guys, too. You're right.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe not the one that girls just want to have rum. Probably not that one, but there are some other ones you have that are really good. So you do a lot of mermaids and, oh man. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just love your stuff. You just have this distinctive design and look.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, I like doing it on paper first. This one's kind of weird, but I was trying a different style of tiki.
Oh no, I don't think it's weird. That's yeah.
An old tree that came to life or something.
Mm-hmm. And just so you know, you guys in the chat, you can unmute your phones if you want to ask questions or make these comments directly to Miss Fluff. Just letting y'all know.
Having these on my site this coming week. I think I'm going to release all the sketches too. Why not? Sketches are fun.
Yeah, no, those are great.
This one. Around.
These are great. I love your style.
I made some coloring pages. Oh wait, I should tell you about this too. So I opened it because I already tried it, but it's good. This is wine. with you can get it from highrollertiki.com. Sort this out sellers, and it has my art on it. Limited
They
edition.
won't deliver to me.
They did? What?
Won't. I put in 3 different addresses and they won't deliver to me. Even though I bought your 4-piece set previously. They won't.
Where are you?
In Louisiana.
Oh, they should totally deliver. Absolutely.
I put in 3 different addresses and
Oh, you know, if it's outside of California, you're supposed to go through a different link. It'll say at the top of the site, if you're outside of these states, click there and then it's to their distributor, but you definitely can order.
awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. Here's the other one. This is a sweet wine. The other one was a Petite Syrah. And they're delicious.
And that's with the winemaker up in Solvang, correct?
Yeah, it's Sort This Out Sellers, but his site is highrollertiki.com, and they have a lounge, High Roller Tiki Lounge, and they're reopening it soon.
Yeah, that is probably one of the craziest places to have a tiki bar
Yeah,
in the middle of a town that is all Swedish.
I know, isn't it?
I
I've
mean,
never been there, but it looks really cute.
yeah, no, it's amazing. I mean, I'm there with my wife. We're wandering around. We go into this place, and it says there's a tiki bar in the back. I'm like, wait, what? And she goes, of course there is. Only for you. I'm like, hey, that's fine. So yeah, high rollers are a really good group of guys and a good group of people, and I like their stuff. So I'm glad to see you partnered with them.
That place is right up in my neck of the woods, and you've got to go. It's amazing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danish, not Swedish, though, right?
Oh, okay. They're Scandinavian. There's something from that area. I think there's like Danish, Sweden. I think it's all phases of that. But
And if you like coloring, I made matching coloring pages. And you can get these on my blog for free. Just download them off my blog. Here's another one. You can have your tiki cocktails or your wine and have some fun coloring.
so I see I see your paintings, and you want me to paint that, to color that in. I'm not going to come anywhere near what you can do. Talk about intimidation.
You'd be surprised. Let's see what else I have. Oh yeah, so all of this art is also on like home decor, like really cute pillows and totes and beach towels and shirts, and for men coming soon. So that's all on my site already. And if you email me, I'll send you a little signed mini print of this as a gift.
Oh, very nice.
My site is missfluff.com. You can just email me from there, and also download the pages, and I have a link to the wine and all the shopping and everything.
And then, yeah, you guys can go there and buy stickers after I already got mine. Thank you very much. No, it's a thing, because there are people that jumped on ahead of me. Some of the artists, we see some really cool stuff, and people jump on and get it, which is great. That's the main thing. I'm not doing this so I can scoop everybody, but more so you guys get get revenue out of this. So that's really cool.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I made a discount code. I hope that's okay for your viewers.
Uh-huh.
It's Tiki Trail 15, 15% off your order.
Okay, awesome. Oh, see, now you guys I may have scooped you, but you're going to get a discount on it. But you're going to get a discount on it. So Tiki Trail 15, thank you very much. And let's see, Harry from Hula Hideaway loves your decanter set. He says it's one of your favorites.
Thank you so much. That was with Tiki Farm. It was really, really nice.
So you've got a broad mix of media that you're doing things on. I mean, canvas, you've got the decanter sets, you're doing a number of things here.
Yes, painting, drawing, digital, and I hope to get back to sculpting someday.
To get back to what?
Sculpting. I used to do hula girls you could hang on the wall and things like that.
Wow, man, there's what are you not doing?
I saw some wall art, like some of the little girls, like actual like 3D girls, not like a print or a painting. But it looked like everything you said about them they were sold out. Do you have plans to bring any of those back?
Oh yes, I miss making them. I call them wall dolls, and I hope I can get back to it. It's just that they're really take a lot of space and they're messy. So I have to move to a place with a garage.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks.
All right. So any other questions for Miss Fluff? Amazing artwork. I'm excited to get my stickers coming in.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm excited when, the men's t-shirts come in.
You'll be the first to get one.
Okay, thanks.
What was the decanter set? I was trying to find that on your website, but I didn't see it.
No, it was a couple years ago through Tiki
Okay.
Con.
Gotcha.
So I just wanted to say one thing. I'm such a huge fan of yours, and I'm really honored to be in the space where you are. So thank you for your art. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I found you on Instagram, not through Tiki, but I've been following you for a long time, and you're awesome.
Carolyn, likewise. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Now, one thing I was going to ask you is, so I don't think I've seen you out and about, or well, for our Canadian friends, that's oot and a boot, in the Tiki community. Are you doing any kind of the marketplaces here in SoCal or anything like that?
I hope soon, hopefully everything will open up back again. And
Well, yeah.
I've been hiding in my desert cave here in Palm Springs. Haven't been out in a while.
Yeah, because I've looked for you at the different marketplaces, but I don't think I've caught up with you yet. So
Yeah,
I look
hopefully
forward to
soon.
doing that in person one of these days.
It'd be great to meet you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We
you.
have your website, missfluff.shop.
Oh, that works too. But if you want to see the blog and all the goodies you can download, it's missfluff.com.
Missfluff.com. Okay, perfect. Well, that sounds great. I was going to say, I think that's where I was earlier today. If not, there's another artist doing things amazingly like you and looks amazingly like you. So who would have thought? All right. So let's see. Let's get into our Makani Marketplace. So I am going to go with Jungle Cruise Magic Geeky Goodies. There we go. Let me unmute you there. And I'm going to shift over from Miss Fluff to you guys. So you guys are now spotlight.
Aloha.
Aloha. So, okay, is it Jungle Cruise? Is it Jungle Cruise Magical Geeky Goodies? What? Help me out here.
So this is Jungle Cruise.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm Jungle Brittany, and our store is Magical Geeky Goodies.
It's been many years of like doing different things on Etsy that all kind of came together with the name and everything.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I'm squared away. Yeah, because Sam sent it over to me. She's like, it's Jungle Cruise and Magical Geeky Goodies. I'm like, but wait, who we're talking to? Jungle Cruise. Wait, I thought it was. So yeah, I was kind of getting confused and all of that.
So when I first started making the pins myself, I was just doing it on my Instagram, and my name is Jungle Cruise. My birth name is Cruise, C-R-U-I-S-E. So it just kind of made sense. Yes. And then Magical Geeky Goodies is kind of what we're hoping to expand. Since we only do pins right now, really. We've done a little bit with masks since COVID started, and we did well with that, but really we've been focusing on the pins for it's been a little over a year as Magical Geeky Goodies.
Now, where are you guys based out of?
Santa Clarita, California.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, let's, you got something to show us? Let's see these bad boys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if anyone is familiar.
I want to see these Magical Geeky Goodies.
Before, but we make currently Disney-inspired tiki pins and whatnot.
Yeah, so I think Disney was basically our introduction into escapism, which eventually led us into tiki culture.
For sure.
Which is kind of the inspiration for a lot of our products and what really like inspires us and like drives our passion for everything.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, we're both trained graphic designers, but when you're having people tell you what you have to design, I think at a certain point I just started getting sick of that and really wanted to dive into it on my own, because I've been very fortunate as a designer to always kind of have steady work. But it can be a little businessy sometimes, and we're huge Disney fans. And me specifically, I've been collecting Disney pins since 2005. The first Disney pin I ever bought was a Lilo and Stitch pin. So I think it goes back as far as that. And I was just starting to see, when we moved to California, we started going to like the Disney Studio store, if anyone's crazy pin, stand in line at 4 o'clock in the morning trying to get Disney pins and stuff like that. And I just started thinking, like, I'm standing in line for these pins, we're spending all this money, and it's like, none of these are actually the ones I want to wear anyway. So if I'm being completely honest, I designed these because I want to wear them, and it just turned out that other people did too. So we started making more of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the very first one he ever designed was actually this one here, which is Hey Hey hanging out in the Enchanted Tiki Room, which was a big pull. A lot of people really ended up liking this one, but we just recently did a second edition of this, and we did it in hard enamel instead of soft. Kind of cleaned up the details, but this was definitely a favorite. It was the first one, so we really love this pin, and this is kind of what it started all of it. So.
Yeah, definitely. I just wanted to make that pin. I ended up making 100 and they sold out. So then a friend messaged me. He's like, what about the next pin? I was like, I didn't even think there'd be a next pin, but now there's, however many.
Yeah.
The next pins, which were actually these two.
Yeah.
We've got Hank finds Dory. I loved finding Dory, but I thought she would look better hanging out in a tiki mug than a coffee pot the whole movie. So I was like, what would that look like? And then I had always wanted to design a pin. I've designed pins for other companies, like I was saying, and stuff like that. And I wanted to use a colored enamel, and it was like the week before the Tangaroa cooler mug had come out, and I was like, so this pin is white metal, dyed metal, with the enamel is soft enamel, so it actually looks like it's a molded mug, kind of like a carving almost. And wow. I just really wanted to play with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then this was our first like seasonal pin. So we jumped off of the Haunted Mansion and did the Hatbox Ghost here. But you could see he's wearing an Aloha shirt there.
And he's drinking out of his own Trader Sam's mug.
His own Trader Sam's mug there. So this one was a lot of fun to make. And then this one is really cool. Yeah. So this is based off of Indiana Jones. And you could see he's holding a Mai Tai there.
Yeah, pull back a little bit. There you go.
Yeah. And then the back has a recipe on it.
Yeah, so I'm definitely tiki was my way into cocktail culture, but now I'm just down the deep end, craft cocktails. I think there's about 140 bottles in our home bar at this point. I don't even know if you know that. It's a lot. But the back of this pin, actually got to take it off. If anyone here has ever been to Disneyland and ridden on the Indiana Jones ride, back in the day, they used to give out the little decoders, and they just recently started doing it again. So the back of the pin is the Maraglyphics decoder, so you can figure it out. And on the recipe, there is the recipe on the back to make the Kali Mai Tai.
Nice.
I thought was like a pun too good not to be used. You got more wrong.
So you have to decode the recipe to be able to.
I mean, if you message me, I will tell you what the recipe is, but so far there's been good success with people trying to figure it out.
Well, I got to tell you, my wife and I, we're Disney fanatics. We're annual pass holders. We go all the time. I have a whole bunch of pins. I am not ever buying another pin at Disney again, unless it's pure tiki, because the stuff you're showing me is way cool, and those are the pins I want.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's like I said, I've been collecting the pins since I was a little kid. I grew up in New Jersey, so I would go to Disney World if I was fortunate enough to go on vacation there. And like I said, by the time I moved to California and got really deep into tiki culture, I've always loved Hawaii escapism and stuff like that. But when I moved here...
Well, of course, you were in New Jersey.
Yeah. But when I moved here and I was like, oh man, I can go to Tiki Tea. I can go to Tonga Hut. I went full in, never coming back again. And I was like, I don't think the regular Lilo and Stitch Disney pins are going to cut it for me anymore. So we actually have something special. This is our newest pin. It is released as of 30 minutes ago. We put it up on our Etsy shop. So I don't know if it's in the chat. I can't see the chat right now.
It's not on any of our social media.
We'll put it in there yet. I did a little sneak peek that you shared on Instagram, but this is, we are calling the Cannibal 626.
Oh, man.
It's a wood carving of Stitch. And I always love the scene at the Luau restaurant where he bites Pleakley's head. And I was just looking at the old like cannibal carvings and I was like, this is too good not to, I guess it's like a visual pun almost. Stitch eating Pleakley in tiki form. So that's the newest one. The Cannibal 626 pin. I believe we put up a coupon as well. To copy anything.
Yeah, our coupon code is Aloha 15. So if you do head over to our Etsy shop, you can grab that and use Aloha 15 to get 15% off. And we'll drop our link in the chat as well. But yeah, his favorite movie, even before ever getting into like tiki culture, was always Lilo and Stitch. So it was only a matter of time before he finally came out with the Stitch
I
pin.
think like I would either wanted like Stitch to be the first pin I made, or I think I was waiting for like the perfect scenario, because it's actually really funny. Stitch is very popular as like for even normal Disney pin collectors. They want Stitch doing everything, cosplaying as everybody. There's like Stitch dressed as like Alice from Alice in Wonderland that like Disney officially sells. But I'm like, what am I going to do with him? And I'm really happy with the way this one came out, because it just feels like a classic. Like, you know, you can think Don Beach had like the cannibal tiki on his back bar. And I think this is like classic with all that Disney charm I really love about the genre.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. Now, somebody is asking about the Disney licensing.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I mean, we are.
So are the cops going to bust in any second?
No, we are, for lack of a better term, we are not licensed by Disney. This is definitely all fan art, hopefully falling under, you know,
fan art,
parody and stuff like that. It's really fortunate time to do stuff like this, because you even think like, you know, Tiki Tony, Jeff Granito, they're all doing their own things, definitely vibing off Disney. Jeff frequently does work for Disney, but even on his own makes his own kind of like not really Disney stuff. Just as an example, but there's like a really good market for the fan art in as far as the Disney world goes. To my knowledge, we've not personally had any trouble with it. I don't either foresee us having any trouble either. And there's a lot of really cool makers that started out doing fan art like us that are now officially licensed. So like that conversation does seem to be open with Disney. Off the top of my head, like Lost Bros, they were just a fan company at first, and now they're designed. Obviously, if we ever did randomly get like a cease and desist or something like that, we'll have to rethink what we're doing. But I don't even really think like, I don't make we don't make the decisions we're making or the art we're making to like make money off of Disney or anything like that. Like I said, this was stuff I wanted to be able to wear to Trader Sam's myself. And it's like, well, I'm ordering this pin, I got to get 100.
Yeah, and I think like with social media now and everything, it's like just so popular for people to be able to like get this kind of merchandise that Disney almost feeds off of it.
It's free marketing.
Yeah, it's pretty much free marketing for them, and they've even like come out and talked about this publicly, that they aren't really there to attack small shops that are making these little things, because it makes people more excited for Disney and more excited to buy their products as well. So while it is like a common question, they've like come out and said like they support small shops as well. So yeah, we're not really too concerned about it. And like he said, we did start making masks with the start of this, and that was actually in direct support of artists that we appreciate and artists that we support. So we actually bought fabrics that were designed by other artists. So we bought fabrics designed by Jeff Granito and Dapper Dino, and we sold masks based off those. Those completely sold out, but we actually do have more fabric coming in that are more tiki and also more like Disney related fabrics. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you pay attention to our Etsy shop, because we will be posting those soon. We just haven't got the fabric in because everything is very delayed. So and that's in support of other artists, because while we love making art, we also love supporting other artists as well. So
I'm glad to hear that. Love hearing that as well. So you've gone into masks because of the time that we're in now. Any other line extensions, t-shirts, appliques, those big appliques kind of things?
We're always trying to figure out what the next thing is too. I mean, like I would I'm open to doing anything. So if there's something you like and we can throw it on there, we can. I think future designs are definitely more going to be designed with that intent to be more multi-use. Like I said, like I love pins. Designing these pins was purely an escape from my real job for me. I love my job, but it can be, you know, kind of high pressure sometimes. And I just wanted to do this to do this. So I really liked approaching these designs as I always knew they were going to be pins in the first place. And that's why I can do the fun stuff like the dyed metal. I was like, what would it look like if the metal was white instead of, you know, silver or gold or anything like that? But I definitely think both of us, as we continue to design, are thinking more bigger picture, shirts, stickers, anything like that.
Yeah, and this year was supposed to be our year to like break into like the markets.
Yeah, we
like the
decided we
tiki
were going to put
markets.
more of our free time into doing Magical Geeky Goodies and try and swing
Great
it a little
timing.
bigger.
And
Yeah.
we were gonna like
We were
rent tables.
we were
at,
lined
like-
up to have a table at the next Tiki Land trading and everything, and just didn't pan out.
Yeah. So, but we do plan on expanding. We're just trying to look at what that looks like. But our pins have been doing good, so we like doing the pins. So.
Well, it's some amazing art that you've got on those pins. That's why it'd be awesome to have it like on a shirt. Put it this big. That stitch is, yeah, I love that stitch. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right. So that is, once again, the site is, okay. So we've already sold 4 pins while you've been
Thank
on.
you very much,
Thank
Brenda
you.
and Glenn.
I should have a counter on here.
Here's to you.
We sold 4 pins, and this Labor Day the weekend, we're trying to get this telethon going. So thank you for doing that, Brenda and Glenn. That is awesome. And that's what we bring you guys on for. So that is, I'm looking for the site again.
Brittany's typing it in right now. So
okay.
Etsy.com/shop/Magical Geeky Goodies.
All right, there we go.
That promo code is Aloha15. So feel free to use that. Tell your friends, you know, it just helps out.
And tell your friends it's a special Tiki Trail discount.
There you go.
Yeah, pass that along. Well, thank you very much, guys. Very much appreciate you joining tonight.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's find our next Makani Marketplace. Cheryl Schroeder of Shroederville Art. Let's bring you into the spotlight and let's unmute you just for the heck of it, because I don't know if you know sign language.
Nope.
Okay, there we go.
Aloha, everybody.
Aloha, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thank you for having me.
So glad you're able to join us tonight. And I gotta tell you, I don't know if it's because we're currently binging on Ozarks right now, but you have a Laura Linney thing going on. Has anybody ever said that to you?
No, but thank you. I love her.
Yeah, no, it's like wait a minute. Okay, yeah, no, there's a thing there. So yeah. So where are you based? Since I'm assuming you're not in the Ozarks.
No, I am in Santa Barbara, California.
Oh, I hate you already. I liked you as Laura Linney, but yeah, I would love to live in Santa Barbara.
It is a lovely place. I love it. Yeah, very lucky.
So talk to us about Shroederville Art.
Okay. I have always been into tiki my whole life. My dad was a tiki carver in San Diego. I was born in San Diego. And so growing up, I surfed. I was on the beach. I was a beach kid and was always drawing since the time I was born. And tiki has kind of always been in my life, even before it was a thing to me. I didn't know it was a thing. But tropical, islandy, exotic stuff was always in my house. And so it's very natural. I kind of got more into it back in probably the early 90s when I met Otto von Stroheim. He was living in Venice doing Tiki News. And I got his zine because at the time I was doing a punk rock zine. So we kind of traded zines, and I went to a few Tiki mug events down there in Venice back in the day. And then I started doing a lot more Tiki art. So it kind of morphed from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what you got. Show us your stuff.
So I'm known for, I do palm frond tikis, and I take palm fronds from the trees around the beaches around here, and I cut them and I shape them and then I paint them and seal them. And so they end up being a tiki like this.
Whoa. Okay.
but it's the head of a palm frond, and it's like a wood, so it's really fun to work with. It's very lightweight and it's malleable, so you can do all kinds of stuff with it. I make tiki cats, and this is a big hit right now. This is all I'm doing because I have so many orders for tiki cats.
Tiki cats, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Are they all going to Mark Sellers? Is he buying them all up?
I don't know, but I'm selling a lot of them. So right now I've been super busy with that. So these are some tiki cats.
Wow.
And I do these little shields on wood too. They're really small, which is great for people who are limited space. Like me, I live in you're looking at my studio apartment. It's teeny, but these little guys are great for that. This is a pineapple bob. I just finished this hula girl, and she's going to go up in my Etsy shop after this interview is done. I'll put her in there.
Okay.
And then I have my Tiki Bobcat character.
I love that.
Tiki Bobcat is actually going to be a ceramic mug at some point. I'm in discussions with some people about it. I'm not sure how it's going to come about, but I'm on that. So look for a Tiki Bobcat mug in the future. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with these little shields. These guys are very popular. I think a lot of people don't have much wall space, especially if you're a collector. And so many of us that are into tiki are collectors, and we have all this stuff, and it's like we need smaller items.
Yeah,
So
no,
these guys are good for that.
we're at the point now, if I buy something has to go out of the tiki because there's literally no room. Now, with the
Same.
exception of those little pieces, you're right. I may be able to buy some of those and stuff some more space. Yeah.
Yeah, same here for sure. And speaking of Disney, I've been doing some Barker Bird pieces. This one is on a really thick piece of masonite, so it's easy to use the jigsaw with. So I just draw it out, and then I cut it, and then paint it and sand it and seal it and all that good stuff. So I've been doing a few of these, and these have been great. And then also I do mid-century fish. These are wall hangings. They just hang on the wall, yeah. So, I mean, I'm doing everything. I'm such a busy, I'm busy. And I have prints for sale in my Etsy shop. They're all 8x10 prints, and they're reasonably priced, ready to hang. They're already matted. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That is way cool. Man, you got some amazing stuff there. Now, you have somebody says mentioning you have a studio up in by Test Pilot.
I did actually, yeah. So I was opening a bar, a beer and wine pub for 10 years. We had a really amazing location. I had a business partner. I've never worked so hard in my life. We took a condemned building and we rehabbed it. So I had this huge patio and an office and everything. And that's where my art studio was. It was a block away from Test Pilot. And we lost our lease in February. So we don't have it anymore. It's really sad.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, so now I'm working out in my backyard.
Well, some amazing work that you've got here. And yeah, there's a ton of comments there in the chat when you get a look that people love the art that you're doing, from the cats to those shields and what have you. So that's some amazing stuff. So
I have a lot of plans for the future. So paintings and prints are coming, and mugs and all kinds of stuff.
Well, Shroederville Art, that's where we need to go find this. And your website is shroedervilleart.com.
It is, but actually my website's not up right now because I need help from somebody who's a little more computer savvy than I am. I have a domain name, and it is shroederville.com. I just need to build that website. Right now you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Etsy, and it's Shroederville Art on all three of those.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, we do have a lot of Etsy folks. We all know how to get to Etsy, that's for sure. Let's see. Yeah, so there's some really cool things to check out there in the chat for you. So good comment.
Awesome.
So definitely thank you for joining us tonight. And let me see. Next up, Robert Jimenez. Either from the Art of Robert Jimenez or Zero Street. So I'm gonna have to ask you about that one. Now I saw you, there you are. Oh, see, this is why I couldn't find you, because you're like right in front and center on my screen. Let's bring you into the spotlight. There we go.
Hey.
So you got two names that you go by, Zero Street and the Art of Robert Jimenez.
Yeah. Well, Zero Street has been my website for a long time.
Okay.
I think a bit over 15 years. When I first started just trying to get my art out there, I purchased that domain. And then when I started getting into Tiki art, I purchased Tiki Tower, and I started working under Tiki Tower. And I was just keeping two websites forever. And I decided to just go with what I had originally, which was Zero Street. And you can still type in tikitower.com. I still own it, and it directs you to Zero Street. So to make things less confusing, I just added the Art of Robert Jimenez.
Well, there you go. and I have to let you know, the next time you if you ever wear that shirt out to an event, send me an email to make sure that I'm not wearing the same shirt, because I have that same shirt.
I think I wore it to Hukilau last year. I think that was the first time I wore it.
Oh, so we probably ran into each other in some drunken state or another.
Well, I was working, so I was vending. So, although there is the free rum all day long.
Yes, that is the fun of the Hukilau, which is not happening, unfortunately. So,
no.
At any rate, so let's talk about your art. What are you doing now during these the pandemic, the stay-at-home stuff?
Well, more of what I usually do, although I think I do trading card work, and that has kind of taken over most of my time. Once it was kind of evident that Hukilau wasn't happening, I kind of just stayed on that. I normally at that, a month or two back would have started working on some more pieces. I do have a few in progress, maybe one or two that I finished for Hukilau, but primarily in the last few months, it's been, non-tiki stuff. I have, in the last couple of weeks, I took an interest in doing woodcut or linoleum cutting. And I did do that. I've got my first piece here, which I cut a few weeks ago. And the cutting was the simplest part. The printing has been a little difficult. So I've got a few artist proofs, that just are kind of iffy. So I'm still working on that. And I did a piece, I was on Trader Brandon's show, and I did a piece that I was starting to do for Hukilau, and we ended up, donating that. It was going to go to Tiki Bars in Need. eBay ended up kind of redirecting where that money was going, because it was listed as a fundraiser unofficially, so it went somewhere else. But I had that piece. So there were a few things in progress. I finished this guy, which, while not outright tiki, a lot of my collectors like the apes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think it's in a box, a keepsake box. So that, and that's just acrylic right on the box. So I think that would have found a home in at Hukilau, but it's on my shop right now.
Awesome. So that's what's your typical format? Are you painting on wood, carving wood?
I tried to do a little bit of carving. I have sculpted mugs. I've done about 4 mugs or so. I haven't in a while, but primarily acrylic and gouache, I would say, are my 2 main mediums. I'm hoping to get into the wood cutting or linoleum cutting, but no, I've never done like a carving, like a proper carved pendant or anything larger either.
Well, the wood block carving that you just showed us there. So are you doing those types of things? Yeah, right.
I just literally did this, I think, a couple weeks ago, and I bought a bunch of linoleum, so I do plan on doing some tiki themed pieces, and hopefully once I get the printing down, it's a little difficult, but I mean, there's a learning curve like anything else, so I'm sure I'll be doing those soon.
Now, when you talk about trading cards, tell us a little bit about that. What's
I've been I've been working for Topps for I really don't know how long, probably about 7 years or so now. I've done primarily sketch cards, which are little originals that are actually in the packs of cards that you might pull, might have in the pack you bought. Mainly Garbage Pail Kids, Wacky Packages, did a lot of Star Wars, a lot of Mars Attacks, and also painted some cards for them for their retail sets and online sets.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, and even somebody in the chat here says you work for Topps. What a cool job. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a dream job. I grew up, one of my first loves was Wacky Packages. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Yep.
They're the little product parodies.
Right.
So, growing up, that was like my favorite thing. So landing that was really a dream job. It's difficult work. The sketch cards are, it's a lot of work in a little turnover time. As a matter of fact, and I love Mars Attacks. I did 2 linoleum cuts, and one is Mars Attacks Alien.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I love that stuff. Since I was growing up, that was a big part of my childhood. So that's been a thrill. I did get to do some work for Disney, which was another huge thrill. I did 2 Tiki Room paintings and The Rocketeer, which is another big favorite thing of mine, a few years ago for Wonderground Gallery.
Oh, that's incredible. Now, where are you based out of?
I'm in Pembroke Pines, which is just south of Fort Lauderdale, a few minutes away from Fort Lauderdale. Yeah.
Okay.
Also wanted to show I do have pins. By the way, ZeroStreet.com, which is my website and shop. There's a discount code going on from the people who put up the at-home Tiki Marketplace. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yep.
So there's a code, at-home Tiki, will get you 15% off everything, including original art. So I have a set of about eight pins that I've done as well. Mainly, I don't know if you can see that well.
Yep. The monkey and the fez, yeah.
Yeah, and they're all based on my paintings or drawings, and those are all available as well there.
Oh, that is awesome. That is great. So, what got you from wacky packs and baseball cards to Tiki?
Basically, it was kind of the work of an artist that I saw on Twitter many years ago who had a one-man show of moais. It was a mashup of just pop culture characters and moais. And that got me very interested in just the image of the moai was it was just attractive to me. So I started looking into that and stumbled onto Tiki Central. And after that, there was just so much great art on there, so many great people on there. And that just led me to start exploring that, and visits to the Maikai, which till that point I hadn't done, were really inspiring. And then, just through all that, found out about the Hukilau that was happening every year in my backyard, basically.
Yes, it is. And yeah, you've got one of the great tiki bars in your backyard.
Oh yeah,
the Maikai. Yeah. So, and I hear they're opening up this weekend.
Yes, I was there a couple of weeks ago. I donated a bunch of prints to them. The print I had mentioned earlier that Trader Brandon put out. I went and donated a bunch of prints to the gift shop, and so I went by there and saw Pia and Kern and a few people, and it was nice to see them, starting to just take action, open up.
Yes, indeed. And they were doing gallon curbside pickup, man.
Yeah, and they just started food as well. They were doing takeout food also in the last few weeks.
Yeah, who cares about the food? It's all about the booze, man. Got to pick up the
food. There's great though.
Yes, they have good food.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, man. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you for having me. I also want to say just real quick, Claudette is just awesome. She's one of a handful of artists over the years who's been, super helpful and always willing to answer questions, back when I was trying to figure all this out. So I want to say hey to her.
Yeah, she is definitely, like I said, I've spotted her early on, and it's like really liked her stuff. And as I've encountered her very few times, I found her to be a very extremely nice person, and saw that tonight. So, and I love all you artists, gushing over each other. That's really cool. So I definitely like seeing that for sure.
Can I pop in for a second?
Absolutely.
Robert, I'm a huge fan, Robert. I love your work, and I just wanted to show you I have gobs of wacky packages.
Oh my God. Awesome.
Just gobs and gobs of them. I love it.
Nice.
I'm super impressed that you work for Tops. That's amazing.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
I want to interject too, if you don't mind. We have some of Robert's original artwork hanging in our bar. If you can see it over my shoulder, Robert.
Let me pop you up here and spotlight you.
There you go. Robert did this original for our bar. I commissioned it. Robert was like 5 years ago, I think. And this is Burns at the Lush Gardens that I had commissioned for my husband's birthday. That's Bernie.
My husband, get in here, husband.
I know. Robert captured his likeness very well, and it is fantastic, and we love Robert so much.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a great piece. I enjoyed doing that.
We love it so much. And Robert, we need to meet sometime.
Yeah, I know. I can't. It's difficult for me to do shows outside of South Florida, but I know you guys are always up in
Lake George.
What is it, Ohana? What is it?
We're at Ohana. We go to Ohana in Lake George. Yeah. No Ohana
someday,
this
hopefully
year.
soon.
Yeah.
We'll make it.
I am scheduled to be in Philadelphia. Well, it's actually Allentown for a trading card show in October. If anybody's in there.
That could happen.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Now I can't get the Billy Joel song out of my head. Thank you very much for mentioning that town. Great. So thank you very much. A lot of fans here, obviously, and for darn good reason. So, and hey, like I said, if there's anybody else you wanted to speak up, please feel free. I just muted everyone because obviously on calls like this, people forget that they're on mute sometimes, or maybe not know that they're not on mute. And
I want to say hi to Miles too. I think Miles is a good patron of mine too. There you go.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Show-offs. Very nice. Well, thank you very much, dude. Definitely appreciate you being on tonight and sharing that. ZeroStreet.com or no, ZeroStreet.com.
Zero Street anywhere, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Etsy, eBay, everywhere.
All right. So for Tiki art and Michael Jordan for rookie cards, I think he had. I think I heard him say that he had those up that you could get from.
Yeah. You'll find them there.
Yeah, I bet those are worth a pretty darn good penny. All right, looks like we've got some other people who are out there shopping on your site right now. So cool. Love seeing that.
Thanks.
All right. Well, guys, I think, Sam, did we get everybody?
We got everyone. That was a lot of fun.
Wow, I can't believe I actually made it through and got everyone this time. And now that I just made myself the spotlight, I'm looking for Sam. So that's the thing with with Zoom. It's like playing those games where you try and remember where things are so you can match them together. It's like, okay, now where did I find Sam? Sam, what? There's Sam. I got it right here. All right, so let me bring you up. What have we got next week? Well, our next one.
Yes. So next time we meet again, it'll be special guests Wolf Tiki, Ladies Who Tiki, Mama Cheetah Designs, and Tiki Tones Tikis.
Very nice, very nice. And we ought to reach out to our friends at the Mermaid too about seeing if we can get them in for a mixology session with us.
Good idea, Jeff.
So the reason that Sam and I are saying, oh, the next time that we're together or the next time we do this is because as we said earlier at the beginning of the show, that everything's starting to open up now, which is great. And we definitely want everybody to be able to go back out and meet and interact, 6 feet apart, masks, all the things that we need to do. But we can now get out of the house and actually go to some of these places, which is really cool. And odds are you're going to want to do that on a Friday night. You're probably not going to want to sit at home and watch a Zoom party on a Friday night. So we've been talking that, and plus the other thing we're encountering is as the bars open up, mixologists tend to be busy on Friday nights. So we're looking at doing another night. We were talking about a Tuesday, keeping with Tiki Tuesday kind of theme. I know, Brenda, you had mentioned Forbidden Island, and I haven't seen them do things on Tuesday nights in a while, and I think they're opening back up and just going to their regular bar-based business.
Yeah, I'm fine with Tuesday, so.
Yeah, so I was thinking that that's what we'd probably do, shift it to 6 o'clock, because I know, accounting for when we're actually going into an office, coming home, traffic, commute, all that kind of fun stuff. Didn't want to go too late because where did Tiki Triangle go? There he is. Because, I don't want you to have to be there at 10 o'clock at night, or starting at 10 o'clock at night for you guys on the East Coast. So that's the thought that we had going forward. We'll probably do not next Friday, but the Tuesday then thereafter. I don't have a calendar with me. I think it's like June 9th.
June 9th, yes.
Oh, look at that. Wow. I clearly have not had enough to drink if I can calculate what a week from Tuesday is. So, does that make sense for everybody? You guys cool with that? Are you going to go, no, it's like when they change TV shows, it's number 1 on Thursday nights, they change it to Wednesday night and never watch it again. All right, because you guys have gotten a lot of feedback from you guys that you want to keep doing these and continue them. So more than happy to do that. Love doing these. Quite frankly, it's the highlight of my week, being able to see everybody's shining faces and get to chat and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there and make sure that weren't going to lose everybody if we do that. Looks like all the comments. You guys, what I've noticed is since we've done these, you've gotten more quiet on the screen and more active in the chat. It's okay to talk out loud, unmuted. Okay, sure. Thanks, Dorian. Zoom fatigue. At least you didn't say it was we're just tired of you tire us, you bore us to death. So I appreciate you
just like
didn't
to
say
hear
that.
your voice, Jeff.
What's that?
Maybe we just like to hear your voice.
Okay, really? That's like the first time I've ever heard a guy. I've heard very few people tell me that. It's the first time I've ever heard a guy say that. So, but thanks, I appreciate that. I don't even have the sexy mic like Terry has for his whole setup.
So June 9th.
You're on mute, dude. You're on mute. You just ruined the whole thing. So what was that? Sorry, who was somebody saying something?
Somebody
I was
talking.
just saying, we'll see you guys Tuesday, June 9th at 6 p.m. Pacific. Same ID code.
Yes.
Oh,
same bat channel, different bat day, different bat time. Same channel.
I want to say something again. I see that next time you're going to have Mama Cheetah designs, and she's with Outline Island. They're great. I'm wearing earrings from Mama Cheetah
Those are pretty cool. Show them
right
again.
now. They're so cool. I love her stuff. So I'm excited for next time.
Yay.
Wow, those are cool. I've never
Aren't
seen
they cool?
I love the teeth. You have a bone and a
Really
molar.
lightweight too, so it's easy to wear. Yeah.
I didn't know what to do with my molar. I had my wisdom tooth teeth pulled out. I'm gonna send them to her. I'm gonna have some earrings made. That looks pretty good.
It's awesome that everybody in the group helps support everyone else. This is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I love seeing that. That's probably my favorite thing with all of this is that I see all you guys buying stuff and purchasing from these artists and helping to support the whole community. And I love when you guys interact and chat. That's why I keep saying, hey, talk, man, talk. It's not just me. So awesome. I appreciate everyone here tonight. Joshua, thank you for I love the, I actually made another one since we last spoke. I
I actually was thinking about making another one. What's that?
I said this is from Outline Island, by the way. You
Okay.
designed our
Yeah,
mug.
that mug is amazing.
Thank you.
But no, I was actually thinking about making myself another one here in a second after we get off.
Well, I got a little bit rogue on you. I doubled up on everything and just poured it in a bigger glass, and I'm going to be good for a while.
There you go.
So thank you for coming on. Hot Rod Trio, man, I love your guys' music. I love that the fact that the show had to go on. You played right on through. The stuff you played was great. Can't wait to go get the download the tunes from your site. Miss Fluff, woof, yeah, what can we say? Everybody loves you. You're amazing. I can't wait for my stickers to come in.
I still want to see you wear a mermaid shirt. I think you have to. You have to wear one of her shirts. You have to do it.
I'm assuming you're talking to Miss Claudette, right? Not
Miss Claudette's shirt. I want to see one of her shirts on you. I do.
Oh.
I think it'd be really fun.
Well, hey, I'll wear it. I'll wear it. I'll wear
I know
the
you will.
mermaid shirt.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
I have to agree with that.
You guys are a sick and twisted bunch of people. Let me tell you what. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Terry. Oh, look, Terry, your sound's cutting out. Where's that mute button?
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. I'm having a peanut.
Cheryl, love the palm tree art. That is amazing. And the little ones, yeah, I'm already thinking of places I can put those up in here. So I'm going to be jumping on your site. Robert, love your stuff as well. You guys, great artists. Thank you all for the work that you're doing. And hopefully we get you a lot of business as well.
Thank you.
So thanks, guys. Aloha until June 9th.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Mahalo. Everybody take it easy.
Have a safe
weekend. Have a great week.
Bye.
Aloha.
Oh, I never got a picture today. Oh, well. Yeah. Bye. Aloha.
Aloha.